Hello, what is up guys? Evil Duo Harm here today, back with a redo of my Phantasy Star Online 2 review that I put out this past weekend. So right off the bat, you're going to notice that the audio is not going to match up in every single portion of this video, and that is because I'm going back and voicing over a lot of these different parts after people so kindly pointed out many of the different mistakes and flaws inside of this video. As the sole purpose of this video is to correct any inaccurate portrayal of in-game content, I will not be altering any of my opinions whatsoever based on my first impressions of this game. Which, to remind everyone, the definition of a first impression, it is defined as the event when one person first encounters another item and forms a mental image of that item. This video is not a review after playing the game for weeks, for months, or for years, as the comments had suggested I do, before I make a first impression video. This is a completely ludicrous request. Once again, the viewpoints I will share in this video, similar to those expressed by others in the comments, are only opinions of a game and should not be considered fact. And once again, I have attempted to correct all factually incorrect information in the previous version of this video. With all of that out of the way, let's get into it. To pick from, you have your human race, you have the elven race, you have a robo race, and you have this demi-human sort of thing. I don't really know what's going on with that race, but you know me, I play males in every single game I do because I'm a weirdo. Next, you have to select your class, and class selection does not matter in this game because you can swap it whenever you want. So this is just your initial start off, right off the bat. And for those of you that don't know, your boy Evil Duo Harm has always been a gunslinger. Plus, I live in America, so it's like really just built right in. You then get a bunch of different presets to choose from, so it doesn't particularly matter which one you pick. Let's take generic male number 1. Then you can go ahead and create your character. You can skip right into the game if you wanted to, but from here you have several options you can choose from. So the first is a base face type, and it gives you a bunch of different options to choose from facially. So I'm going to go with face number 7. You can then pick different variants of that same face if you want. Makeup is your beard for males, and I'm assuming for girls provides you with girl stuff as well, like eye makeup and whatnot. I don't really know. Hairstyle, there's quite a few to choose from, nothing too crazy though. Advanced face customization options allow you to shift the position in things and change the different types of eyebrow or whatnot, so you can pick whatever you want here. You can position your nose with this point slider like this if you want to make it taller or shorter to adjust the whole facial structure. So sort of similar to a lot of these different types of games, except instead of a number slider, you actually get this like 4-point adjustment. Next, you have your body customization, and then once again, you got base body type that you can select from a whole bunch of different options. The same sort of morphing system. You can morph the different positions and the shapes and whatnot of the body that you want to do. The customized attire option lets you choose an outfit for your character. Now, it is worth noting that at this point in character customization, as you pick different outfits, you're going to notice your entire character model does change. So if you were trying to get a specific build or body size, you're going to have to go back and adjust it. Also, the different outfits all have different attach points for your weapon, which means that the majority of time there's going to be some sort of gap or misplacement of it, but fortunately the game does have a system in-game that allows you to readjust your weapon so that your immersion isn't broken in the game like some stupid YouTuber would say in one of their first impression videos. What an absolute idiot. But anyway, the same system applies to accessories for your outfit as well, so like this hat, you can move it forward, backward, up, down if you needed to avoid clipping through the hair or anything like that. And as we know, fashion is the true end game in any MMORPG. Also worth noting, whatever outfit you pick in this little starter screen you get to keep, and additional outfits are not difficult to unlock at all from this initial starter menu. So following character creation, you're going to end up in a tutorial where you'll learn some basic movement, skills, and abilities and whatnot. You're limited to the 4 cardinal directions as well as the 4 ordinal directions for movement, aka 45-degree increments, with the ability to yaw in the forward direction. The yaw ability does not work in the reverse direction, which leads to some kiting issues when you use the tab targeting system that's available to you in the game. So combat is based on a tab targeting system or a free aim system if you choose. As a part of the tab targeting system, your general combat is conducted with your left mouse, right mouse, middle mouse, and shift keys on your keyboard, as well as 1 through 0 across the top of your keyboard. These can all be configured later in game, and I will show you their location here in a few minutes. Now, the majority of your early game experience in Phantasy Star Online 2 is going to be spent in these different regions called expeditions. So these are basically like little level areas. They're relatively linear. There's a few branches you can take around, but they ultimately all end up in the same place. And that is with a final boss fight that involves some different targeting mechanics and whatnot. Think of something like a Monster Hunter world where, you know, you have to travel through a world, travel through a level, kill some side mobs along the way, ultimately to get to the boss you're trying to hunt down. Just with less of a free roam element. It's more linear, maybe more of like a dungeon that you would experience in another game that ends up with a final boss fight. These boss fights, though, are a lot more similar to a Monster Hunter boss fight versus a like typical like dungeon boss fight that you'd have in like a Blade and Soul, say. These bosses have targetable regions that you can attack, which is where a free aim type system actually comes in quite handy, or once again, you can also use the tab targeting system that's available to you. These expedition missions can also be completed with allies and friends, so if you have some friends, feel free to bring them along with you for these missions. Now, at the completion of any of these different expeditions or missions or story quests or whatever you want to call them, you're going to end up at the hub world of Phantasy Star Online. So similar to like a Monster Hunter or a Dauntless, this game is centered around a hub world where you can interact with people before embarking on your next expedition, adventure, or whatever you're going to do. Now, when you first arrive in the main hub world, you're going to want to open up the escape key on your keyboard to open up your pause menu and start messing around with all of the different settings in here to get this game running as smoothly as possible for you, including in full screen mode, unlike what you've been seeing in a bit of these clips here. But while we're on the topic of the pause menu, if you want to do inventory management or anything like that, from the new weapons you're going to get for playing through those first couple of story missions, you click your equipment tab, which is this one down here, equip weapons, equip armor, you go to whichever piece of gear you're equipping for, and you can see your different options. It will show you which ones are better or worse at each of the different options. From this menu, you can also modify the different skills your character uses, so if you click on any one of the skills associated with any one of your weapons, you can adjust those right there. From the same menu, you got your armor, which equips the same similar way. You have your fashion tab, so from the fashion tab, you can customize your character's appearance. General social interactions are available here, like your friends list, parties, mails, all the typical things that you see in MMOs. Your settings menu is available with these gear cogs over here. Your world icon shows you all sorts of different quests and missions that you can do. And then, of course, you have the wonderful cash shop that's available in any of these different types of games. So like I said, if fashion is the true end game, you can go ahead and buy yourself a bathing suit for your character. And after this point of showing off the fashion that you can buy, I went on for about a minute and a half showing the different items that are in the cash shop and pointed out that there's really nothing in here that's pay to win. There's a few EXP buffs you can buy, a few pay for convenience types of things, but nothing that is truly pay to win. And yet for some reason I was still destroyed in the comment section of the last video saying that I called the game pay to win, which I literally did not do at all, and I said that in fact it was not pay to win at all. So I'm kind of confused. But I guess just to reiterate and make it really clear, this game has no pay to win elements in the cash shop. Just pay to look pretty, kind of like one of those Kim Kardashian mobile games. So after you're done fiddling with all the menus, looking at the cash shop and everything like that, you're probably going to want to get back into some gameplay, and to do that you'll need to find the NPC Rebecca, who's located at one of the terminals inside of the world of PSO2. So when you head on over to her, she has a whole bunch of different quests you can choose from. You got story quests, side quests, practice quests, main quests, all sorts of different options to choose from. And they're pretty self-explanatory as to what each one of them will advance. So your story quests will progress you through the story. Main quests and side quests provide you opportunities to conduct expeditions and get some bonus rewards for doing those. And later on, as you progress in the world of Phantasy Star Online, you will have access to urgent quests as well, which apparently is the super endgame portion of the game that people absolutely love. As this is a first impressions video, once again, I did not get a chance to experience these urgent quests, but apparently that is where the content is in the wonderful world of Phantasy Star Online. So if this is a game you choose to pick up, it's something to look forward to. So while we're on the topic of quests, when you go ahead and talk to somebody to do a quest, you pick your difficulty for the quest, then you search for all parties that are going on in the world. You find ones that have how many people inside of them, and you can join a party up to 4. Here's one with 3 people, so let's go ahead and join it. But anyway, it's like a hub-centric world where you pick parties. So think of a game like Monster Hunter, as Kuropi just went ahead and suggested to me. But anyway, once you get down in the world, it's pretty straightforward. You make friends, you go ahead and work through all the content and stuff together. Pretty simple and straightforward. But anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this video. So I tried really hard to remove any bias that I might have shown in the first version of this video, and I apologize for maybe letting it get a bit too far. I want my channel to be known as an unbiased source for information, and I was wrong for some of my expression in the initial video. All in all, though, I still have the same conclusion I did the first time around. Even though this game really isn't my favorite type of game, if you're into these dungeon crawler, Monster Hunter, Dauntless type games, and you're looking for an accessible one that has no pay-to-win elements, free to play, then this could be the game for you to enjoy. It obviously has a die-hard community that are willing to go to great lengths to have their game fairly represented, and as someone who can appreciate a community that stands behind their game, it was only right for me to give it a fair overview it deserved. If you did find this video informative, if it's going to help you decide if you want to play the game, do let me know in the comment section below. If you still think I'm a piece of crap for my first version of this video and you hate me and you're never going to watch me ever again, feel free to tell me that in the comment section below as well. At any rate, thank you so much for giving me another shot with this one, and I will see you at the next YouTube video, the next live stream over on Twitch, or wherever I happen to see you. Peace.